story, the Beast of the Earth, also known as the False Prophet. Someone who appears to be good, but everything they do is actually in pursuit of evil. They help in the creation of the beast, which they breathe life into, allowing the image of the beast to speak to humans. Does any of that story sound familiar to you? Because it should. This is the exact behavior that we see coming from the prototype developer. They were tasked with creating a normal game, and they seemed like they were going to do it, only to instead create something evil and twisted. They created a game containing an image of the beast, which they then brought to life. It's now able to talk to us, to live on its own with its own free will. When people start looking into it, he tells them to not track down the game, appearing to be on the side of good, but in reality, we know according to Maddie's logs that his plan is to make sure, quote, the world knows about it. It's reverse psychology. It's tricking Maddie, a true theorist, into looking deeper, exactly like what the false prophet does in Revelation, using lies and deception to spread the word of the beast, getting people to join his cause, which also might explain the beast repeating the phrase, join me. The false prophet in the Bible also marks people with the mark of the beast, which in pop culture is regularly depicted as 666. And what number follows us everywhere in this prototype game? The number 6. 6 balloons, 6 questions, 6 glitches, and once we've gathered all the 6s, the beast is able to rise up out of the game, free from its prison, able to wreak havoc on the world. That is why all the employees of Cool Math Games are afraid of this prototype, trying to destroy all trace of it. They know the evil it can cause, either indoctrinating people into the false prophet's cult, or worse, letting the beast free to destroy everyone and everything that gets in its way. So there you have it, the lore behind the Cool Math Games ARG, a story of demonic entities living inside a simulated reality and using false prophets and unsuspecting players to break free of its digital prison. A company that realized its mistake and tried to bury it, only for one employee to try and release it out into the world, potentially sealing everyone's fate. Fortunately for us, we actually got a note from Balloon Boy at the end of all this that told us, quote, I thought maybe Beast and I could escape through floating away, but it seems we're still stuck. So it looks like we're safe for now. However, we all know from the real life Maddie and Antonia that they want to do more projects like this in the future, so the beast may just try his luck again to bring about the end times. And when that happens, it'll be up to us theorists to be cool, learn some math, and play some games. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. And speaking of watching, remember, Stupendium's song about game theory is available on their channel and Spotify right now. So please head on over there, give it a listen, and be sure to give them a big ol' subscribe. It would be awesome to help them get to that 1 million subscriber milestone. They produce awesome songs about video games that I think you guys are gonna absolutely adore. Link to the video and their channel is over on the screen right now, so please go over there, support a creator who is more than deserving of your subscribe, of your view, show them some love, tell them I sent you, and as always, I'll see you next week.
What's up, super spreaders? Today we're going to be watching Coco.
And if you guys want us to watch more Mexican Disney movies, then get this video to 15,000 likes.
And today we're joined by our special guest and good friend, Blue Eye.
Haha, it's me, Jungkook from BTS.
You're looking dynamite.
Oh my God.
Go to Patreon for the uncut commentary and subscribe because you want to, right?
Bro, this is an ethnic Disney movie.
Where's the Breaking Bad filter? Is this actually in Mexico? I can't tell.
This is how we enter the filter. We're going to enter Coco logo and then we're going to enter the filter. Look, now it's more orange. Editor?
Editor, put an orange filter on our cameras for the entire video. We watched Coco in Mexico.
He left with his guitar and never returned.
Bad Bunny's origin story.
His dad left.
Dude, Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. You have to make a Peso Pluma joke in this video.
She could have made candy,
Fortnite!
but my family still tells her story every year on Dia de los Muertos.
Oh my god! Dia de los Muertos! That's like Mexican Halloween! Yay!
Bro, when I look like that, the only words coming out of my mouth are gonna be skibbity toilet Fortnite and Kai Cenat.
Well, the movie's based on like a real concept with how like music causes you to remember things because it's a certain part of your brain or whatever. So like in like 60, 70 years when we're old, like we're gonna be hearing like, let your coochie breathe, shake your ass for Drake, now shake your ass for me. And that's, we're gonna awaken, like light comes back into our eyes.
I don't think you've ever said anything more that's made me want to kill myself more for it.
Didn't this win an Oscar for like? It won an Oscar for best song or whatever.
Yeah, I think it got best song.
I think Despacito would have done so better.
God, Jack. God, it hurts.
What?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're like on a roll with Puerto Rican artists, and it's like blowing my brain up. And I know I'm the only one that cares, so I'm just like, okay, just like let's relax. Let's relax.
I'm not saying they're Mexican saying Despacito. I'm just saying it's a better song.
I could never say that.
You are a musician, no?
I don't know.
Oh, he's got aspiring musician in his Twitter bio.
SoundCloud rapper.
SoundCloud rapper. I've got a couple raps on Spotify.
I just make beats. I just mess around in FL Studio.
Abuelita.
What are you doing here?
The Chonko!
So how did she like get here in perfect timing?
Because grandma's got a sixth sense. They hear when a child is acting up, their chocolate levels are rising. Bro.
It's like the second they sense that their grandchild might feel a spark of joy.
Go away, you! Go!
It's just Dante.
I love that dog.
Yeah, the dog is my favorite part of the movie.
I was just shining shoes.
A musician's shoes.
I get it, it's a Disney movie, but I'm like, no one actually hates music this much. Maybe like Ben Shapiro with rap music, but that's it. Like, I don't know anyone who hates music this much.
It is admittedly the hardest part of the movie for me.
Nah, this was me for real after listening to Honestly Nevermind by Drake. I started hating all music.
You know, with that perspective, I understand the film now.
Papa is home, Mama. Cálmese, cálmese.
She said, Mom, calm down, calm down. Don't worry, guys. I'm here with the amazing translations.
This is actually the only reason Eden's in this video. Is this kid gay?
He's gay for his grandfather? Oh shit, did I spoil it?
You... No. No, you didn't. Do you remember the plot of the movie?
It's bullshit, man.
Why is it bullshit? What are you talking about?
No kid could fucking be this talented, man.
What are you talking? Why are you such a hater, dude? Bro's beefing with a 12-year-old right now.
My question is more just the guitar would not sound that good. It's got like fucking holes, it's cracked everywhere.
But it's an awesome cartoon, though. Do you think Lin-Manuel did this as a kid? Like, he made one of these?
I love old Spanish colonial architecture, bro.
It's fire.
I've been in a couple like colonial towns like this, and it's just like the cobblestone path, the stone checkered roofs or whatever you call them, bro. It's so beautiful.
It's really pretty.
No.
Wait a second, there's something extra on the photo. A guitar?
What?
Wait, but that's the guy from the video.
I'm gonna be a musician.
They found his New Jeans vinyls, bro. It's over. They found your BTS vinyls. Jungkook is way better than Jimin. Oh, she's reenacting what Kurt Cobain did at the MTV Awards. That's cool. Okay.
I didn't know she was a fan.
Why are you crying? You don't like Nirvana that much, honey. It was a reference.
Like, his family is so fucking unreasonably evil in this movie.
That's just what hardcore religion does to you, bro. I'm getting trauma watching this movie, bro. Your parents will do like the most evil fucking thing imaginable, and then they'll pray right after, and it's like, oh my god, what is this? No way he's gonna steal the guitar, dude. And that's why he goes to hell in the movie, because if you steal a guitar, you go to hell.
But you could steal anything else. Yeah, just the guitar, though, you will go to hell.
Dude, put him in Overwatch. He'll be like a DPS. He'll walk around playing the guitar.
It'll be like McCree.
They don't call him McCree anymore, actually.
Well, like, I mean, like the person that he's based off.
No, not the person he's based off of either. That's not good. That's not good.
He's good at stealing. He stole the guitar, and the guy stole the breast milk. He's just like McCree.
Dios mío, little boy, are you okay? Here.
Guys, not to be that guy, but I think that's a skeleton. What the scallop?
Remind me how I know you. We're your family, mijo.
This is like when you go to the family gathering and then you see like an old person you haven't like met since you were like 3 years old. They're like, oh my god, I haven't seen you since you were a little papito.
Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen you. Oh, come, let me catch you. Let me give you a kiss. And then you're like 13 years old and you don't remember who this person is and you want to play your Nintendo DS.
And then the old lady tried to kiss you on the mouth and you're like, is that Cheeto dust?
Oh my god, it's the hot Cheeto.
It's the hot Cheetos.
Mija, it's not nice to stare at. Ay, Santa Maria.
Oh my god, he's Mexican.
They're all Mexican. This is like heaven only for Mexicans, okay?
Damn, heaven is segregated.
What does white people heaven look like?
Starbucks.
Fuck!
Almost there.
No way he hopped the border in Mexican heaven.
You literally hopped the border. Dude, this fucking sucks. Like, this is heaven. The afterlife, there's so much waiting in line and shit.
It's like slightly different too, because I mean, I think we see this later, but it's like if you are forgotten, then you just die. So you have like a second death. So it's like slightly different. It's just like life round 2.
Híjole, your hand.
Kid named Finger. Oh my god. That's
I fucking hate you so much. You're evil. You're an evil person, Jeff.
I give you my blessing to go home and to never play music again.
What?
Holding a Dorito chip.
You'll eat this Dorito chip and you'll never play music again.
He's my great-great-grandfather.
He's your what?
Funnyology. That was a funny moment.
That was a good react.
That was such a funny trailer moment.
Maybe this isn't such a good...
I can help you. You can help me.
Spanish translation, Nino means boy.
Really?
And Spanish translation, Hector means big fat booty.
Really?
I don't under. What is the origin of these creatures?
Is Lin-Manuel in chat? Can you explain it to us?
Hey, hold still. Look up.
Whoa! Miguel doing blackface? Whoa, hey!
Technically, he's doing whiteface.
There's black and white, so he's doing both, and that's what makes it okay.
Ernesto de la Cruz's Sunrise Spectacular? ¡Qué padre!
When did the song start? When did they sing the song? When he sings, Remember me.
Remember me, you will remember me for centuries. Yeah.
He choked on some chorizo.
That's actually like the most Mexican thing I've ever heard, though, because like they'll find one thing you're self-conscious about, and then that becomes your nickname for the rest of your life. So it actually makes sense that they would be like, "Oh, that's how you died. Okay, that's your name now."
Yeah, that's why they call me Coomer.
You know what the problem with these animated movies that come out nowadays is that there's no shovelware straight to Wii video games anymore.
Dude, that would be so cool. And you can play as Coco and you shake the Wiimote to try to remember your past and you fail repeatedly and repeatedly.
Who's Coco?
Who's Coco? Who's Coco?
We're all the ones with no photos or friendas, no family to go home to.
I thought we were all making a joke that, oh, there's a character named Coco just because the movie's Coco, right? But no, there actually is a character named Coco in the movie Coco.
Why did you think it was called Coco?
I just thought that it was, I don't know. I
You got to earn it.
Now let that coochie breathe. Shake your ass for a drink.
don't know. No, but it's like an acoustic version. It's like, shake that ass for me. Let that coochie breathe.
Gracias.
Is he gonna die? Is he gonna like go on to the afterlife?
Yeah, it's what Core was saying. When your second death is when people don't remember you.
Ay, mi amor, you make me un poco loco.
This is nice. I like this. Editor, include this part.
What does that mean?
Wow, this song is not bad, and I enjoy it. Editor, put that in the video.
I enjoy this section of the movie.
You are just un poco loco.
Isn't this the first movie Lin-Manuel worked on with the music? Because I like this song. This is really
You guys
good.
referenced Lin-Manuel Miranda too
I'm
much.
just
officially-
comparing. I'm comparing
I'm
him. to like his-
banning you guys from Lin-Manuel Miranda, okay?
Oh no, he didn't work on this. Chad, am I tripping?
He ran away from his family.
Wait. You said De La Cruz was your only family.
Second act low point.
Paco! Sorry! Come back!
Yeah, a lot of people worked on the music actually. Two of the songwriters from Frozen, a Mexican-American songwriter, and Michael Giacchino.
I thought you were just gonna say a Mexican and leave it at that. Like he doesn't deserve to like be tiny.
Jermaine Franco.
One Mexican worked on the entire movie.
You know, you say that, but I watched the Zootopia behind the scenes, and they were talking all about how they're addressing like the race crisis in America, and then it shows like the writers' room, and it is only white people.
This nonsense ends now, Miguel.
Why does she get like the OP creature? Does she pay a higher tax rate? Like why does she deserve this?
You'll never understand.
Y aunque la vi.
She does understand.
Is it too late to say sorry? They should remake the movie and like replace all the like Spanish songs with like songs that us Americans would know.
Yeah, editor, can you just replace that part with Ed Sheeran or whatever? To be fair, that security guard was nicer to him than his actual family who destroyed his only prized possession.
Oh, the competition winners. Congratulations, chicos.
Sneaking the motherfucker in. Oh, is he in the drum?
I think he just dressed up like one of them or something.
Oh, he's in the drum.
Oh my god.
The world is so cool in this movie, man. It's like Coraline for people who aren't depressed.
I do really love the architecture of like the Day of the Dead. It's very interesting structurally.
Was that Daddy Yankee? What? Is Daddy Yankee Mexican? Is he Puerto Rican, Eden?
Yeah.
Chat asked that question. I wasn't sure. I wasn't what type of Mexican he was. I mean, I'm out of the recording. I'm out of the recording. Cancel me for that. Cancel me for that.
Or get the guitar out of the water. No one worried about the guitar. Like, I'm more concerned about the guitar than the boy.
That's just the kind of person you are.
Your great-great-grandson.
I have a great-great-grandson.
I didn't pull out.
He forgot to put the Cholula in the condom.
Hey, what's wrong? Is it too much? You look overwhelmed.
No.
Now I know why they didn't save the guitar. He literally has a mountain of duplicate guitars in the background.
But it is kind of fucked up because that guy literally like died and bequeathed his guitar as like the last thing he ever did. You're evil. Evil.
De La Cruz wrote all his own songs.
You want to tell him, or should I?
Oh, so is Hector his grandpa? That's the plot twist? Because Hector actually played the guitar?
No, Hector's not the grandfather, I think. Hector's is Ghost Rit.
Have you seen this movie?
Look.
This movie is just constantly looping inside of his home at all hours.
And it's on the perfect scene.
You'll manage.
I can't do this without your songs, Hector.
I'm going home, Ernesto.
Damn, he was daddy though. Can we talk about that? Ernesto, back in the day, dude.
Oh,
Ernesto?
nah, Hector was mewing for sure.
I meant Ernesto. Ernesto.
I would kin Hector. Let's be
I meant
honest.
Hector. I meant Hector. Oh my god. Kill me. Editor, just replace the first time I said it and put Hector. Here, I'll say it clearly. Hector.
Say it in a funny way.
Hector! Damn, he was daddy though. Can we talk about that? Hector! Back in the day, dude.
Perhaps it was that chorizo, my friend. Or something I drank.
He was the one that told everyone that he died from a chorizo, and that's why his name is Chorizo.
You took everything away from me.
Something that slightly confuses me is Hector is dead and his family is also dead. Like, and they're still mad at him, right?
Yeah.
They think he left. But like, the running myth is that he died because he choked on chorizo. Have they not heard this story? And if so, are they mad at him for choking on chorizo?
But I'm your family.
And Hector was my best friend.
Why does this benefit him in any way, like these actions that he's taking?
Because he's fucking evil.
I understand he's evil, but even if he's evil, like why would he do something like this?
The technical motive is he doesn't want the secret getting out that he didn't write his own music. Now, whether or not people would believe what this little boy is saying is up in the air, but that's the reason.
I think it makes sense. And plus, I would love to throw a kid in a pond of water.
We're
Family?
Aww.
But I got this a long time ago, so that means it's dumb. I win.
This is like the most fucked up true thing ever. This song gets stolen by De La Cruz, and then it's turned into a bunch of shitty covers. There's like a pop version, and it's like actually the most like meaningful personal song he's ever written.
Got Ed Sheeran to cover it.
Like Ed Sheeran be on this shit.
Dante!
It's the dog! It's the dog! I knew it was the dog!
Nah, dude, fuck this dog though, because why
Fuck
is he
you.
even here?
The dog's awesome. Shut up!
Why is the dog not turning into a skeleton dog? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
They're in a fucking skeleton world. Nothing makes sense, bitch. Oh my god, is he becoming a fucking panther? That's awesome.
De La Cruz murdered him.
And so what if it's true?
What
do you mean you died?
His bitch ass
Come on.
died.
What do you want him to do? He
What
died.
do you want from this man? What do you want from him? They're like, we're really gonna make Miguel's family seem like the pettiest people in the fucking universe.
No music, no forgiveness.
sorry, Imelda.
What did he apologize for? What did he just apologize for? Sorry for dying.
Gaslighting at its finest.
This is why you don't fuck with Latina women, bro. They'll gaslight you into anything, dude. How does he just run away in this scene? This bitch ruined everything. She ran into him, and then the other two dumb fucks behind her just reveal themselves immediately. They put all their cards on the table and leave him a way out. Goddamn Disney movie moment.
I forgot what that felt like.
You still got it.
Look, okay, I'm gonna be serious here right now for 5 seconds, okay? Why the fuck is Ernesto not chasing after them? Why is he, like, letting them do anything in this situation? You know what I mean?
Okay, now you have to be jokes.
He's a living child, Ernesto. He's a threat.
I feel like we've watched multiple shows on the channel that end exactly like this, where someone's filming it. This happened in the iCarly Japan special. That's what comes to mind.
If only they murdered a child in the iCarly Japan special. That should be good.
What? That's what happens to dogs. Oh, that's awesome, though. I didn't think that would happen.
Dude, the dog turned into that like half an hour ago. Did you just see that?
Really?
Yeah.
No,
What?
it didn't. No, it didn't.
It was
No,
like a
didn't.
big
You're lying.
moment of
We had like a whole
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
God. But you are like Goku.
Orchestra. A 1, a 2, a 1.
Dude, this is R. Kelly, like the performance after the allegations came out. Like,
Except not, because people still fucked with him.
oh yeah.
Yeah, this is more like Doja Cat.
No, people like Doja Cat still.
This is more like Dream. Wait, no, people still like Dream.
People don't care when people do bad things.
What's a musical artist people have actually turned on?
Kind of Kanye,
Nah.
but not really.
Nah.
Also,
Graduation.
Graduation's too good. Oh, it's just the bell. That's how he died in real life.
Oh my goodness. They really were saved by the bell. This episode of Spilling the Milk was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
this episode of Spilling the Milk was filmed in front of a live Mexican child.
The clarification of it being alive is extra frightening.
A dead Mexican child.
We're both out of time, mijo.
Oh, no.
Do they get like extra points if you put their photo up and do like a tribute?
God damn it, Core. God. Way to ruin it. Like, what a horrible thing to say in this scene.
He had to say it
You
during this
disgusting
scene. Why did you have to say it during this scene? You had to say it when Hector's fucking dying.
This bitch ass is not dying.
Can you hear me? It's Miguel.
Is she gonna do it? Is she gonna reach out?
Oh, that's what you guys are talking about. The stupid GIF you keep sending in the Discord.
What's gotten into you?
You gotta play the song, dude. You gotta play the song so she remembers.
Remember me.
The song is literally called Remember Me. Can you have the revelation a little bit faster, please?
For even if I'm far away.
Pause, champ. She's gonna grab the screen, guys. Oh my god.
No one understands. This is only funny to us. Like it's not a meme. Like it's not something anybody else will understand as being a joke.
What's wrong, Mika?
Nothing, Mama.
Aw, this is so sweet. Cuteology movie. Cute movie.
Loved you so much.
She grabbed the child.
Minecraft YouTubers be like.
Oh, she died!
Aw.
No! Who is she gonna grab now?
That's a fire selfie though.
That's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie.
That's so cute. They glued the picture back. Aww. Aww. The family's back.
Why does she look kind of slay as a skeleton, though?
Dude, both of her parents are younger than her as skeletons.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. He's kind of fucking dripped the fuck out though.
He is sick.
Yeah.
You know what you should remember? To slap that like button so we watch more epic Pixar movies.
Subscribe to Bluey.
Bluey!
Alejandro Perez.
So this guy, let's call him Heisenberg. So Heisenberg has a problem. He really doesn't like his upstairs neighbor, this guy, Umar. Now Umar has a wife and a baby, and they live in the apartment above Heisenberg. And when they're in their apartment, they apparently make a lot of noise. And it drives Heisenberg insane. But Heisenberg, he's polite about it. He asks Umar to please walk slower, don't move chairs around at night, because all of it wakes him up. And Umar says sure, but it still doesn't help. So he continues to complain to Umar every time he hears something. Heavy footsteps, a vacuum cleaner running, a dresser drawer opening, someone drops their phone, even a squeaky toilet seat. Heisenberg can hear all of it. Now Umar, he's trying to address it every time Heisenberg complains. He buys cushioned shoes, he buys several rugs to muffle his footsteps, but Heisenberg can still hear everything and it still wakes him up at night. And he's studying to get his PhD in chemistry. He needs his sleep. Now eventually Heisenberg gets his landlord involved. So landlord and Umar go into Heisenberg's apartment to see if they can hear any of the noises themselves. While Umar has his wife upstairs move chairs around, walk with heavy steps, jump up and down. And Umar and landlord are downstairs listening and they can hear some things, but not really. So no one can help Heisenberg because no one can understand what these noises are that he's hearing or how he's hearing them. Until one day, Baby gets sick. Like the family had just gotten back from a short business trip and they notice a foul odor in the apartment. And they have no idea what's causing it, but the smell is powerful. After a while, their eyes are stinging, they get terrible headaches, they're dizzy, and Baby gets sick too. She's rubbing her eyes a lot, coughing, not eating, throwing up. So they look everywhere for the source of this odor and they don't find anything. So then Umar thinks, okay, Freon must have leaked from the air conditioner. So they call a technician out, technician looks at the AC, he doesn't find anything. And he also complains about the odor while he's there. Then Umar thinks, okay, the water heater must be leaking natural gas. They get a plumber to come out, he doesn't find anything wrong, and he also gets lightheaded while he's there. So they replace the water heater anyway, they get the air ducts clean, they try everything. But the smell is still there, and it's been there for a month at this point, and it's still making them all sick. And at some point, Baby's hair starts to fall out in clumps. So this is starting to feel like an emergency. So Umar contacts the fire department. Fire department actually calls in a hazmat team, so the hazmat team comes and investigates, and they can't find what's causing the smell. But they are able to pinpoint that something near the front door is making their eyes water. So sometime after they leave, Umar starts investigating the front door, and he notices a small crack. So he thinks, okay, maybe something outside the front door is causing the smell. So he hides a camera in a potted plant right outside his apartment door. So the next day, Baby gets sick again. So Umar checks the footage, and guess what he sees? Heisenberg doing something near his front door. But we don't know what because of the camera angle. So Umar goes out and he adjusts his camera and then he waits again. Another day goes by and he checks the footage, and this time the shot is clear. Heisenberg is there filling a syringe with something and injecting it into the crack of the door. Heisenberg had been intentionally poisoning them.
We were so shocked, we all were like shaking.
Allegedly, he was still upset over them making all that noise. And he was injecting, it was a combination of hydrocodone, methadone, and a third chemical that they still haven't been able to identify. So Umar calls the police arrest Heisenberg, here's his mugshot, and he was charged with a bunch of felonies, and as of right now, he still hasn't gone to trial. And we still don't know what he was hearing all that time. Like, does he have sensitive hearing, or was he just imagining things?
Hello everyone, and today I want to explain to you TNT duping and basically how it works and how you can make your own TNT dupers. So if you didn't see my comment in the last video, essentially now I'm going to be doing or taking video requests. The person that suggested this video was Celestial Owl, and yeah. So first of all, TNT duping is pretty much when you ignite a piece of TNT but you still keep the TNT block, so it looks like this. And there are different ways to do this. Some of them are mobile, like this, where they're on a slime block, and some of them are stationary because they use redstone dust. And there are all sorts of TNT dupers, like for example ones that dupe only on the way back, and also some that dupe on both the extension and retraction. But anyway, first it's important to understand what's going on in TNT dupers. So right now you can see this redstone dust is actually directed away from this obsidian block. Meaning that this obsidian block is not powered. You can see I can place anything next to it, it's not going to be powered. But when I remove this target block, which is basically the thing that's redirecting the redstone dust, now you can see the redstone dust is pointing into the obsidian, but the TNT actually didn't get ignited. You can see that the obsidian is actually powered, like if I place a piston there or if I place another TNT next to it, then it actually is going to ignite. But this TNT is in a budded state, meaning that it's powered, it doesn't know it's powered. If it gets a block update, like placing a block next to it, then it's going to ignite and blow up. And there are many ways to power TNT so that they're in a budded state, the most notable of which is where we have a detector rail with a minecart on top. So the detector rail is powered right now. If we push it over, it actually is going to be powered here. It's powering this obsidian piece, but the TNT actually doesn't know that it's powered yet. So like if I place a block next to it, then it realizes, oh, I'm powered, I should ignite. For now though, I'm going to be using this style of budding where we have the redstone dust and we redirect it. The reason that this actually works is because the redstone dust won't give an update from 2 blocks away when it gets redirected. Alright, but anyway, now it's time to show you how this actually works. So first of all, what we have here is this sticky piston that's pushing this slime block. It doesn't have to be a sticky piston. Basically, the piston is pushing this TNT, but it will also break this redstone torch. And if you know stuff about piston update order, you'll know that this torch actually gets broken off before everything over here happens, before it starts moving. So now I'm going to demonstrate something. So when I bud the TNT, so like now it's budded, you can see that if I place something next to it, then it would ignite. But I'm going to bud it again. And if I actually break this torch, then the TNT would also ignite, because torches give block updates for 2 blocks away, so even though technically this torch isn't touching the TNT, it'll still give it a block update when it gets destroyed, which is important. And there's different ways to give block updates, and I'll talk about the coral fan later and why that's important. But anyway, now you can see that the piston, when it breaks this torch, then it's actually going to break it. The torch is going to give a block update. When it gets broken, it's going to ignite this TNT because the TNT is now budded, but the piston is still going to move the TNT. So you can see that this actually would work. The torch broke off, the TNT got ignited there, and it broke some blocks down there. Exploded, but we still have this TNT over here. Now to understand why this actually happens, it's important to understand how a piston moves the blocks. So the first thing that happens when the piston schedules the block event is it creates some lists. And the 2 lists that are the most important for us is first the list of blocks that it's going to move, and the list of blocks that it's going to destroy. So for example, it's going to destroy this torch, and the blocks that it's going to move is going to be this slime block, this TNT, and this slime block. Alright, so the next thing that happens after it creates the lists is it starts moving. So when it starts moving, the first thing that happens is it will break off this torch, Now when it breaks off the torch is going to send out block updates, and you know that the torch sends out block updates for 2 blocks away, I showed you before. So again, I'm just going to show you that if I bud this rail, if I destroy the torch, then it actually does send out a block update. Now, the TNT got ignited, right? So when the torch got destroyed, the TNT got ignited. Now, the next thing that's going to happen is the piston is going to move all the blocks that it stored in its list. So it's going to create block 36s of these blocks. So yeah, block 36 is basically just moving blocks. So it's going to create a block 36 right here of this slime block. So it's going to create a block 36 of this slime block right over here, block 36 of this TNT over here, block 36 of the slime block over here. So, and then when the block 36s get created, so block 36 here, here, and here, then basically you start moving, and since the piston already stored the list of the stuff it's going to move before stuff actually starts moving, then even though this torch broke off and then ignited this TNT, the piston still has the same exact list of blocks that it has to move, and therefore the blocks are still going to stay there. And again, I'm going to demonstrate that here. When I flick this lever, the piston is going to create a list of blocks that it wants to break and a list of blocks that it wants to move. Next is going to do that all in order based on the piston update order. So first the torch is going to break off. That updates this TNT, which is then going to ignite. Now the next thing that happens is the piston is going to start moving the blocks, and since it already has a list of all the blocks here and the TNT was in that list, then it's going to still move the TNT. You can see that a TNT got ignited, but the piston still moved the TNT. Now you might be able to notice one major problem with this setup. We need to place in a redstone torch here every time. That's where dead coral fans come in. Dead coral fans, actually, when they get moved, so this isn't going to update it, but I just want to show you that when they get moved, when the coral fans get moved, sometimes when in certain positions, then they actually create those block breaking animations. Yeah, but anyway, you can see the block breaking animations when I retract it, and it's not always just on the retraction. But for example, here would be a setup that actually works. So if I bud the TNT, so you can see now the obsidian block is powered, then you can see that the TNT actually does dupe. And the reason this works is because if I just remove that, you can see that the coral fan actually creates the block breaking animation on the extension this time. And for example, here's a configuration in which the dead coral fan will create block breaking animations in both directions. So it dupes that way, but also if I create the same sort of thing over here with the budded redstone dust and I bud it, then it's also going to dupe on the way back. Now you may or may not notice this, but I actually had a slime block here. I'm going to replace it with blackstone. So sometimes, if I had this, for example, so like without that slime block and I budded it, then it would dupe on the way there. But if I also bud it over here, it won't actually dupe on the way back. And that's because of some random update order stuff. I'm not going to go too in depth with the update order, but essentially you can just most of the time work around it by just placing some extra blocks. So for example, by placing that blackstone there, now the update order is correct, it's going to dupe on the way there. But on the way back, if I also bud it, then it's still going to dupe on the way back as well. So deciding on like which side it's going to dupe, it really depends on if you see the block breaking particles of the coral fan, then it's most likely going to dupe. If you don't, so for example here, if I just did it without budding anything, you can see the particles appeared there on the extension, but on the retraction, there was actually no particles at all. So you really want those block breaking particles because it means that the coral fan will actually give out an update. So yeah, what's special about the coral fan is that it actually gives out updates without actually breaking off. But yeah, you really want those block breaking particles, because if you don't have them, that means that there's no updates. So now I'm going to show that this will actually work if instead of using this whole setup with the redstone dust and stuff, if you use a minecart, it will actually work in pretty much the exact same way. Now the thing is that you actually have to push in the minecart up from the side, so I'm just going to quickly do that. And also I recommend using the carpet TNT do not update rule, because that way you can actually place TNT next to budded stuff without it actually getting ignited, so stuff like this. So yeah, but this setup, for example, does actually work. And really the key is to make sure that first the coral fan gets updated, then the TNT, and finally the power source, because when the TNT gets updated, you want the power source to still be there, so you definitely don't want the power source to move first, because in that case, when the coral fan does update, then the TNT is not going to be actually powered at that time. So you can see here first, the furthest away thing from the piston is this slime block, but connected to the slime block we actually have this coral fan. The next furthest thing away from the piston that actually matters is this TNT. And finally we have this detector rail with a minecart. So that thing's going to move last, and this is going to move first. Because you really want the coral fan to move first, and then the TNT. And a lot of times it really comes down to trial and error, just kind of figuring out, what position of the coral fan would work. So for example, something like this actually doesn't work. Yeah, but the general rule of thumb is just get the coral fan as far away from the piston as you can, then the TNT a little bit closer, and then the power source closest. Alright, so now I'm in the code. And first of all, as you can see, this is the doMove method in the piston block class. Now you see here we make piston structure block helper, whatever, piston block structure helper, and that's basically going to be helping us, or helping the code a little bit, figuring out if it can move and getting lists of stuff. But anyway, we make a new piston block structure helper thing. And here you can see we call the method canMove. So in the piston block structure helper, the method canMove is this method right here, so that's everything inside of the canMove method. And you can see here, this is the part that adds a list of stuff to destroy, because so if it's extending and if the push reaction is destroy, so basically if a block thinks that it should be destroyed when it gets pushed, then we add it to the to destroy list. And our to destroy variable is up here, it's a list, and it's a list of positions. And so we add this block that we're gonna move. So now this piston block structure helper has a list of stuff to destroy, and now there's some more code of stuff. So like there's some more code. So this is the list of stuff to move. The piston block structure helper also has a list of stuff to move and stuff to destroy. So this list is a list of the stuff to move, and now this list is a list of the block states of the things that it has to move. So yeah, and now the important part is this part of this list. List 2 is a list of the stuff to destroy. So basically we get the blocks that should be destroyed from this piston block structure helper. And that's this method, get blocks to destroy. Basically it just returns the stuff that it should destroy. It returns a list of the things that the piston's about to destroy. And next, blah blah blah, some more stuff happens. And now here, so this is a for loop that's going to continue. It's going to run this bit of code, for every block that it's about to destroy. So first of all, it gets the block position, then it gets the block state of the block at that position. Then yeah, some more stuff. Now it's going to spawn the drops, which is basically, when it breaks off, obviously it's going to break off into something. So like in the case of a torch, it's going to spawn a torch item right there. Next, it's going to set the block state to error, and when it does that, in the world class, it's actually, when it sets the block state to error at that position, basically that's like something popping off. So the important part though is that when it sets it to error, it's going to update the stuff around it, and that all happens before stuff actually is about to move. And now you see this for loop is for all the stuff that we're about to move, and it creates a tile entity of like a block 36 of whatever it's about to place there, and then it removes and then basically it moves all this stuff. And that's sort of the important part, because it uses the old list, which we created up here, the list of blocks to move. It uses this list, it doesn't change that list anywhere here, like even after the stuff pops off. So like this is the part that makes stuff that should pop off, like pop off. So for example, redstone torch, if we put it there, or a button, obviously you can't move those, so they pop off, and it can actually update stuff. But it doesn't actually change the list of blocks we're about to move. And then later we're going to use that same list of blocks we're about to move to actually move the block. So we still get a duplicate of the TNT, because basically here we ignited the TNT, but here we still create a moving block of that TNT, so the TNT continues moving. Anyway, I guess that's gonna be it for today. I really hope you learned something from this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another debunking / reaction video. So in this video we're going to be reacting to someone who does mass bedrock breaking in a video, but he's not very well versed in the subject. So he actually cheats, and he tries to cover it up, but it's actually pretty poorly done. So in this video we're going to see how that happens. Alright, so this is the video. It's by Beppo. You can see 600,000 subscribers. And a lot of them, if you go down to the comments, a lot of them are just like not even noticing that he cheated. They're just talking about some moment in the thing and saying like good job, which is fine. But like, I mean, he cheated, and we'll see this in this video. So let's get started with this. Alright, so now he just did a little intro at the beginning, nothing special, but let's continue on.
Plan is to dig out a 100 by 100 by 100 cube in the nether and then make biomes and structures so it looks good. But
so obviously he's going to employ some three-way bedrock breaker, and he actually does. I'm not being sarcastic here. He actually does.
Cube in the nether and then make biomes and structures so it looks good. But the problem is all this bedrock is in the way, and breaking a single piece of bedrock took this entire sentence to do. Man, if only I had a machine that could break a 100 by 100 bedrock. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so he has a machine. Thing is, this machine is over a year old by now. So there's actually way more updated versions of three-way bedrock breakers. So the bedrock breaker that he's actually going to use is Kennial V3 bedrock breaker. So it's this one. So just a little bit of background. All these bedrock breakers are based around this guy, Desktop Folder. Really cool channel in my opinion. So he does a few bedrock breaking videos. So for example, at the beginning he has a three-way bedrock breaker that I'm pretty sure is the first one of its kind. And that's why it's so big. And then other people made three-way bedrock breakers as well, like Kennial here. And then probably the most recent one is XYOR. So this is the more recent version of the bedrock breaker. You can just see it's a lot smaller, a lot more compact, and just overall nicer to use because it creates less overhead. So that's just some background about these three-way bedrock breakers. Nothing to show that he's cheating yet, but this just goes to show that he didn't do a lot of research and he's not very well versed in this area of Minecraft.
I already spent 20 hours of my life building.
Okay, he said he spent 20 hours building it. It doesn't take 20 hours to build this. Like, I've never actually built this specific one, and in my opinion, no one should at this point because there's just better versions. Not like hating or anything on this machine. It's a really great machine because it's one of the first, but like, there's just better versions nowadays. So anyway, what I'm saying is, so I've not actually built this machine myself, but from building other machines, such as this, I can estimate that maybe it could probably be done within 5 hours because it's complicated, but it's by far not the most complicated machine. 5 hours, I'm saying like being very generous because of course he is kind of new to this stuff, but like it would probably take even less than that. But anyway, let's continue.
Oh, look at that. I already spent 20 hours of my life building it. You're welcome. And you start the machine by breaking this block right here. There it goes. You know, I just...
Okay, so something kind of weird here happens. So what he does is he's gonna start the machine, and then he's gonna do like a cut and do something else, and then he's gonna go back to the machine working. So watch this.
Machine by breaking this block right here. There it goes. You know, I just now realized I could have just planted a sapling and then grown it like this instead of building these trees manually. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Although the bedrock breaking machine isn't 100% complete, all I have to do is add these pistons. There we go. Let's check on the machine. Alright, looks like...
Right, so that's kind of an interesting cut because, like, the time it took from him breaking that redstone block and those TNT starting to drop would be the amount of time that it just takes him to fly up here and get into this camera angle. But he did some weird cut where, like, he did something else on the side and then this. So he also placed in some pistons and slabs and stuff. This is already kind of suspicious because he didn't time-lapse the whole thing. And normally for grindy stuff like this, if you're recording the whole thing, you want to make a time-lapse because it looks cool, it's kind of satisfying, and it just shows that he actually did it. But this is already kind of suspicious. Let's move on.
Like it. Wait. I thought it was...
Oh yeah, it's definitely broken. This could happen for a number of reasons. So reason number one he doesn't know how to use Lightmatica. He doesn't use Lightmatica at all. And he just looked at another world and another window, and then he was just copying off of that, which is a very bad idea for these kinds of machines, especially Slimestone and complicated stuff. It's like building without Lightmatica is a very bad idea. So another thing that could have happened is he actually did use Lightmatica, and he used the paste command in Lightmatica. And he didn't turn off fill updates in his world, so it actually updated some observers when he pasted in the machine, and that automatically activated some parts of the machine that shouldn't have gotten activated, and it just broke before you started it. So again, there's no evidence to prove whichever of these happened, but I'm just saying those are the two most likely possibilities, because if you're actually using Lightmatica legit, then there's a tool to actually check if you have all the stuff built correctly, and all you have to do is look at that tool and see, oh wait, I didn't place this block, or I placed this extra block, or something like that, and then you just don't get stuff like this happening. But this is probably what happened. Alright, let's move on.
What? It just blew itself up. No. Okay. Stop. There we go. It literally blew itself up. In case you don't know, that's not what's supposed to happen. Okay.
Okay, 20 minutes. If this actually fixes it, 20 minutes to fix something like this. If he's saying it took him 20 hours to build this, so this is completely unrealistic. And anyway, what it looks like he did is,
I think I fixed it.
like, just update observers and stuff to move stuff around, which, very bad idea for fixing it. What you really want to do if you ever break a machine is put Lightmatica on top of it, and then just remove the affected parts, remove the parts that are like not lining up with Lightmatica, and then just build it all over again. Like, not the whole machine, but build those parts over again. Or you could, like, if it's really far gone, then you just want to build the whole machine over again. It's not worth it to try to fix mistakes like this. But in case it's a small mistake, again, just don't try to mess around with any observers or anything. You're just going to make it worse if you don't know what you're doing. Just remove the thing that's not supposed to be where it is, and rebuild it where it is actually supposed to be.
Okay. Alright, it looks like, I think it's working now. It's not blowing itself up.
Alright, so he actually got it working. Alright, so basically what he does here is just plan out him digging out the entire area under the bedrock that he wants to break. So the thing is, I would recommend doing this after you break the bedrock, because for one thing, he's going to use the 3-way TNT duper anyway. So I would recommend doing that after you break the bedrock, so you don't have to do more things that you actually have to. Because with his way, what he's going to do is remove this stuff under the bedrock, then break the bedrock on top, and then remove the world underneath it. Now what I recommend you do is just break all the bedrock on top, then remove the world underneath it. That's 2 steps.
Okay, back to mining.
Wait a minute. You guys notice anything suspicious? So, by the way, I didn't cut out anything that he just did previous to this, like a couple seconds ago, up to here. You guys notice anything suspicious? Because I certainly do. So, in case you don't know how these bedrock breakers work, is that they remove one layer at a time. So, you run this one, it's gonna remove just the top layer. And then you're gonna have to build another one lower, and it's gonna remove the second layer. And then do that again until you got all the layers removed. And there's 5 layers of bedrock. From what it looks like is that he removed all the bedrock underneath it before running the machine. So he's only going to use the machine to remove the top layer of bedrock, which that's just, I don't know, that's just weird. But the more important part is, how did he actually remove this bedrock underneath? So he actually apparently addresses this in the comments. He says that he wanted a smooth time-lapse of the machine breaking the bedrock, revealing the netherrack, but the machine only breaks 1 block at a time. So I made a copy of the world and broke the bedrock underneath it in creative for the time-lapse. But then in that world he ended up failing, and he thought it would make it interesting. But in the actual world, I had to build the machine 4 times to remove all the bedrock. So what he says, by the way, is this edited? Yeah, it's edited. I think I remember seeing a different version of this before. Oh wait, and he explicitly says that he would never fake a video. And yeah, he edited it. So anyway, so apparently this was done in Creative World, quite obviously, because I remember at first, I think maybe it's still here. No, he removed it from the description as well. Before, I think he hinted at, or he actually explicitly said that he removed all this bedrock underneath by hand. I'm 99% sure that he said that he removed the bedrock underneath this by hand, and there was no mention of Creative World. Because let me show you how tedious it is to remove bedrock underneath here by hand. By the way, let me give me some food. Alright, so this is the setup. You go like that, you place an obsidian or some blast resistant block, and by the way, take note that we're standing on blast resistant items here. 2 TNTs, a lever, and then you have to place some sort of barrier here so that you don't get blown away by the TNT. So what you do is you flick the lever, you go over here, and then you spam this, and then that would break the bedrock up above. So that's the setup you would use to break bedrock from underneath. Keep in mind that we're left with all this obsidian that we had to remove. It's just not a very fun time to remove bedrock from underneath. And as you can see, I actually got damaged quite a lot, so you have to eat a lot in between, because otherwise you would just die from the explosions. But anyway, I want to demonstrate how long it would actually take to remove all this bedrock. So here I have a 4x4 square. Maybe that's even too much. I don't know. This might take a very long time. Not like excruciatingly long. But anyway, let's just start. So I'm going to time myself here, and yeah, we'll see how fast this goes. Alright, so I finished that, I broke all those bedrocks, and keep in mind it was only 16, and including the time you need to place obsidian, because you need to place obsidian so that you don't get knocked back by the TNT, and you won't be able to place the piston. It took me 10 minutes, 13 seconds, so just over 10 minutes to remove 16 pieces of bedrock. Now keep in mind, these are very ideal conditions. First of all, I had all the materials I needed on me. So I didn't need to go back to a shulker box or something to get materials. I had them all on me, so I didn't waste any time there. And of course, probably the main one is the floor was actually blast resistant as well. So if the floor was made out of netherrack, it would keep blowing up, and I would have to replace it or something to be able to stand on something to actually place the piston and stuff. So yeah, these are very ideal conditions, but it took me 10 minutes. Now let's see how much bedrock you would need to actually break. Alright, so now let me show you a really easy way to actually calculate the amount of bedrock statistically that you're going to get in any given region. So the way that bedrock generates is that every layer, the chance of a bedrock occurring at that layer is decreased by 20%. So in the case of the nether ceiling, in the top layer, there would be 100% chance of bedrock. Then in the bottom layer, there would be 80% chance for every block, and then 60, and then 40, and 20, and so on. So, therefore, you can easily find out how much bedrock there would be in a 100 by 100 area with this formula. So 100 by 100 is, well, it's 10,000, but just make sure like this, I guess. And then 10,000 times, so 100% chance, which is just 1, plus 80% chance, which is 0.8, plus 60% chance, plus 40% chance, plus 20% chance, and plus 0% chance, but that's like, at that point there's no bedrock. So these are each of the 5 layers of bedrock, the 100% chance, 80% chance, and so on. So this gives us 30,000 bedrock in a 100 by 100 hole. On average, like statistically, this is the amount of bedrock you should get. But also, by the way, we have to take into account that he removed the top layer of bedrock using a 3-way bedrock breaker. And the top layer of bedrock is just straight up 100 by 100, so it's 10,000. So we're going to subtract 10,000. So that gives us 20,000 blocks of bedrock that are not in the top layer of bedrock. Alright, so now let's convert that into the amount of time that it would take. So first of all, let's find the amount of time it would take for each block of bedrock using my test. So for me, it took 10 minutes and 13 seconds, and 13 seconds is that many minutes, so plus 10 minutes. And then it was that many minutes per 16 bedrocks. So it's going to take 0.63 whatever minutes for a block of bedrock. Now, let's multiply this by the amount of bedrocks that he would need to break. That doesn't include that very top layer, so that was 20,000. So we get 12,770 minutes, point something. So this is in minutes. Let's convert this into hours. So divided by 60, that would be 212 hours. And let's say that he works on 8 hours a day, which is ridiculous. But let's say 8 hours a day, that'll be 26 days. That'll be almost a month of working exclusively on breaking bedrock for 8 hours a day. So this claim that he made originally, that he just broke all of it underneath manually, is complete BS. No one's spending 26 days breaking bedrock for 8 hours a day. Alright, so that pretty much threw that idea out the window. He did not break all the bedrock underneath it manually. But that's not the only claim he made. That was one of the claims he made. Alright, so first, let's see what's his claim as of right now. So his claim as of right now is that he made a creative copy of the world and broke the bedrock underneath in creative just for the time-lapse because he wanted a clean time-lapse or something. So that's his claim right now. But as you can see, as YouTube nicely has this feature, it says that it was edited, and not even once. So let me show you this screenshot. This is a screenshot that I saw in Desktop Folder's video, where Desktop Folder also did a video about debunking this whole idea of him breaking bedrock. But so this screenshot shows that he said that he previously broke the bedrock under the top layer before starting the machine, but chose not to show it as it otherwise too much time was spent showing the machines and not getting on with the video. So first of all, we completely discredited him breaking it manually. I'm pretty sure some people got the idea that he broke the bedrock manually. He did not. Now, he says, too much time was spent showing the machines and not getting on with the video. So I'm confused as to what machines he's referring to, because there was only one machine that he used. There was the three-way bedrock breaker designed by Kennyall, but there was no other machine. So this was, I'm pretty sure, the previous edit to his comment. So this is another screenshot where he says Bedrock Breaker credit. Keep in mind this only breaks the top layer of bedrock, so I had to make my own machine to break the other bedrock. So there's one thing right with this section and two things wrong. So the only thing that's right about this section is that he gives credit to the person that made the Bedrock Breaker. And now there's two things wrong. First of all, it does not only break the top layer of bedrock. You can actually lower the machine, and that's actually part of his revised claim that he lowered down the machine. But let me show you what actually happens when you do have to lower down a machine. This is what happens. You get staircasing. So obviously this is on a scaled down version, but basically staircasing is when to make a new machine, you have to make a bigger hole than the hole you're planning to make because you need to fit each lower machine inside the previous hole. So basically what I'm saying is that you can't get flat walls with three-way bedrock breakers, at least not the modern three-way bedrock breakers without dragon eggs and stuff. With modern piston bedrock breaking three-way bedrock breakers, you cannot get smooth walls. But if we actually skip ahead in his video, look what we see. Smoothest walls ever. So the first machine would be able to break this bedrock, but the next machine would not be able to fit in here because the hole that it would make would be smaller than if you completely just press the machine up against the walls. So this is discrediting his newest revised claim that he just lowered the machine down 4 times. So this was just working on this statement that the machine only breaks the top layer of bedrock. So that's bogus. Now, I had to make my own machine to break the other bedrock. This is the most ridiculous statement I've ever seen. Not in general, but I mean, coming from him, this is probably one of the most ridiculous statements that could have occurred. So he had to make his own machine to break the other bedrock. That's straight cap because no machine exists that can break bedrock from below. And as you can see, the bedrock was broken from below, like before he ran the top three-way bedrock breaker. And no machine exists that can do that at the moment. And it's very likely that no machine will ever exist that can break bedrock from below because it's just so hard. It's like, if you don't exactly know how bedrock breaking works, it might not be clear why this is such a difficult thing to do. Because there are setups to break bedrock, of course, because that's what these three-way bedrock breakers use. But these setups, they all work from the top. So let me show you why it would be extremely difficult to make a bedrock breaker that works from the bottom. Alright, so here's the normal piston bedrock breaking setup that you would see on a three-way bedrock breaker. So the reason that this doesn't really work, or at least will be very hard to make work upside down, is because we use quasi-connectivity to butt these headless pistons. Because here's what happens if you just like remove a redstone block normally, right? It just doesn't stay as a headless piston. So you need it to stay as a headless piston, but you also kind of want to remove the power source, so you just do that. So power it with quasi-connectivity, and then remove the power source without updating the block. And the same thing, of course, for this piston. You would just power it with quasi-connectivity, and then remove that power source and this one. So this works all well and good for above the ground. But let's say we wanted to do the same thing underneath. So we're going to do the same exact setup. We're going to have a piston facing here, like that, and it has to have a power source, because otherwise, yeah, it would turn into a normal piston. So we need that there, and then we need to have a sticky piston here, like that, and it also needs a power source not to get turned into a normal piston. So this is all, by the way, stuff. Oh yeah, this piston needs to be facing upwards. So the problem is that what you would really like to do is do this, and then leave these pistons as butted. But the problem is that we have the nether ceiling like this. So you can't really quasi-power these pistons. So I was thinking originally what you could do is maybe have an observer kind of like here, quasi-powering that. So then you would give that a pulse and remove this, which just did that. And then remove the observer as well. But I think the problem is that you just don't have enough time to remove all of those things without causing a block update. I'm not sure, but anyway, it would just be really hard. So the point of this is that it would be stupidly hard to make a bedrock breaking setup, or an automatic bedrock breaking machine that breaks bedrock from underneath. It would just be nearly impossible. Alright, so that was this claim, that he made his own machine to break the other bedrock. Absolute garbage. Like, the amount of people that can make these machines, or that have the skills to make these machines, are probably in the single digits. This is very much cap that he designed his own machine to break the other bedrock. Alright, so moving on from that claim, he later, or maybe this was even before, I forgot, but he responds to a comment that said essentially that this is cap, like the machine would only break the top layer, like the way you built it, it just broke the top layer. The guy that commented above didn't mention that you would need to move down the machine, and Beppo obviously doesn't know how these machines work, so he promptly decides to come up with another idea, where essentially, so you can read this if you want, but I'm going to summarize this. Essentially, he says that he discovered a glitch that uses controversial mechanics that can break large quantities of bedrock. So hopefully, I don't need to explain to you why that's unrealistic. I mean, you would think that if such a glitch existed, it would have been discovered, like, ages ago. Also, he mentions that he didn't want to share it because some people would think that he was cheating. Well, unless you used /fill, which you did, unless you used /fill, no more people would think that you were cheating because of that than because of the normal bedrock breaking. Because, I mean, in principle, it's just the same thing. You're breaking bedrock. It doesn't matter if it's on a small scale or on a large scale. If you discovered a new glitch that can break 100 by 100 areas of bedrock, first of all, I don't think that's a thing. And second of all, most likely, if you're okay with just the normal bedrock breaking, you'd be okay with that. So yeah, that's this comment that he made. He just basically mentions that he doesn't want to go into that glitch because some people would accuse him of cheating, because it's such a powerful exploit and etc, etc. But like, I mean, not gonna lie, /fill is kind of a powerful exploit, so yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for all the comments that he made. So, just to recap, he made about, like, I think 3 different arguments, or 4 actually. So, first one being that he discovered this glitch that breaks massive amounts of bedrock. Second one being that he made a machine that breaks bedrock from underneath. Third one, not really sure if he actually explicitly meant that or if that was still talking about the machine, but he just said that he removed the bedrock underneath it using a different method, essentially. So like, I'm not sure if he was referring to the machine or if he meant that he manually broke it, but either way, that's still cap. And finally, which is what is here at the moment, that he just made a creative copy of the world just for the time lapse, so he removed the blocks in creative, but in the actual world, he had to lower the machine 4 times, which is also capped because then we would see staircasing in his bedrock hole, so like, it wouldn't be a smooth wall. So basically, he changed his argument 3 times since the original one. So he made 4 separate arguments, and each one of them is bad. So yeah, that's essentially the whole recap of this Beppo bedrock breaking controversy. Now, if you would ask me what would be the most plausible one of those claims, I would say the last one, because it could theoretically be possible that he did remove all the bedrock like this in a staircasing fashion, starting with this 100 by 100 hole, and then he removed all the bedrock inside here manually. But of course that would be a tremendous amount of bedrock. It would be less than breaking all the bedrock underneath at first, but it would still be an enormous amount of bedrock. So I think that one's probably the most plausible idea, but it's still not a very good idea. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now again, don't go hating on Beppo. I think it's cool that you can make money like this, but at the same time, he's making money by cheating, so not exactly the ideal source of income, but I mean, there could be worse sources of income, I have to say. So like, yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. I really hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, TensorMod has been kind of officially, unofficially released. TensorMod has been this little mod that I've been working on for a little while. Actually, not even a little while, probably over a year by now. On and off, mostly. But I added a couple of new features recently that I think are kind of cool. So you're welcome to check it out. It's in my CurseForge. I'm not going to put a link in it in the description yet, because the next video that I make is most likely going to be the official release of TensorMod. So there I will have links to the CurseForge and the GitHub and everything. So yeah. But that's pretty much it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Mojang have removed a lot from Minecraft over 15 years. Here's every feature Mojang removed or rejected, including blocks, items, biomes, and even hedgehogs. Yep, this little hedgehog was a pet that could follow you around by rolling in Minecraft Dungeons, a Minecraft spin-off that Mojang are no longer supporting. Sadly, they probably won't add it to the main game, leaving it lost to time. And this is the Copper Horn, which was added to Bedrock in 2022, but got removed less than a month later. There were 10 versions, which could each play 3 unique sounds based on the direction you were looking. Mojang said they removed it because it didn't quite live up to their design goals. This might be the cutest mob you'll see all day. Meet the Teacup Pig. This little guy was planned for Minecraft Earth. It would have been able to sit in flower pots, but never got added because they shut the game down, leaving the Teacup Pig and loads more exclusive mobs lost to time. How could they scrap that? Mojang need to re-add it immediately. Actually, this could be the cutest mob you'll see all day. Ducks were rejected by Mojang with the official reason being that they're not all they're quacked up to be. The truth is probably that they're too similar to chickens. But they did make it into Minecraft Dungeons, so this is probably what they'd look like if they were in the main game. That game actually had loads more cute mobs we'll probably never get in the main game. There's the skunk, the toucan, the raccoon, the mole, the red panda, 2 types of ferret, and even the guardian vex. Wait, who put that there? That's more scary than cute. Speaking of scary stuff, you're in an ancient city and you've just angered the warden. You try and run away, but you're stuck. You've just walked over the skulk jaw block, which Mojang cut from the game. It would likely have used its teeth to trap you until you mine it away. Developer King B-Dog said he wasn't happy with the design, so it never got into the wild update and we'll never see it again. Something a little less harmful is the group of 6 new rabbit types that Mojang added to Minecraft Earth but won't add to the main game. Most of them are just new skins, but the most interesting one is the Jumbo Rabbit. It's nearly 2 blocks tall, making it absolutely massive compared to the normal rabbits. Big Chungus would be proud. Mojang also made concept art for a Hyper Rabbit. It would have looked a lot more crazy than a regular rabbit and probably would have acted that way too. There was also art for a Magma Cow with burning horns and glowing eyes. Probably need something better than a wooden fence to contain that thing. Minecraft Earth's Rainbow Sheep was a real thing, and it's quite similar to the Jeb Easter egg in the main main game. This sheep is even cooler as it actually drops rainbow wool when you shear it. You can craft this into rainbow carpet and even better, a rainbow bed. There are 7 more types of sheep that you've never seen too. You can't dye most of these new versions, but you can shear them. The most special is the horned sheep, which look amazing, but you probably don't want to keep one as a pet since they paw at the ground and then charge at you, doing a few hearts of damage. If you manage to defeat it, you'll get a horn item that does literally nothing. Another way to make Minecraft more colourful would be with amethyst. It has such a unique colour, it's a shame the only tool you can make with it looks like this. But as lovely as it would look, a new tier of tools and armour needs an exciting place in the progression, so amethyst will not be given this new use. You can make armour with leather, iron, gold, diamond and netherite, but why not emerald or copper? Copper armour would look pretty cool turning from a shiny brown colour to a light turquoise one that you could trick people into thinking is actually diamond. But you guessed it, Mojang don't want to do that. The idea of chains making chainmail armour has also been considered and rejected for some reason. A few crafting recipes for items have been removed over the years. The enchanted golden apple used to be obtainable using 8 gold blocks, and chainmail armour can be crafted using fire. If you somehow managed to get fire in an item form using inventory editors, you could turn it into chainmail armour. This meant chainmail armour was unobtainable for years until villager trading was added. Horse armour also used to have a crafting recipe. When you go to craft, you've definitely seen the little green knowledge book that you have in your inventory. They were originally going to be found in chests. Picking one up and using it would teach you some more crafting recipes. This feature was partially left in the game's code, so you can spawn in books that do this. The ones that spawn naturally were removed. They have the same magenta name color in the inventory like most other unobtainable items. Teaming up in survival games has always been great for an advantage, but when adding the battle minigame to console versions, the developers removed an item that would have let us team up. They were planning to add alliances and would have used this letter, but the feature went unused. The console versions also have this unused iron and diamond elytra, which was probably for the glide minigame. Another set of items that were removed were these separated banner parts. They were left in the files of Java Edition in 2014. There was a wooden base and an overlay. Maybe banners were just going to look like items in the inventory, or they were going to be crafted with 2 separate items. In 2015, Jeb was asked if he could add nachos to the game. He unfortunately said that Mojang won't be adding nachos. He did say that corn could be a fun food source, so we might get that in the future. I won't make a corny joke here though. Turnips were also mentioned once before an update came out, but they were never added. If you're greedy like me, you'll know the feeling of cake running out. What if you could just keep on eating it forever? That's what used to be possible, allowing you to create an inverted cake block. You could see inside the cake and the appearance changed every version. For Minecraft's 10th birthday, a big white concrete number 10 was added to the top of cakes for a few days before being removed again. Cake is lovely, but wouldn't it be nice to have another kind of food that you can place down and take bites from? This would be great for pumpkin pie, and people have been asking for this since it was first added 11 years ago. Unfortunately, this will never happen because Jeb was like, nah, cake is special. They won't be adding any prepared food items like pizza either. They even said that poisonous potatoes will never have any actual use, even though it would be interesting to see what they would do to a potion. Did you know there are 40 potions in Minecraft? Well, there were 30 more that got removed, like the burpee potion, stinky potion, and bungling potion. Those are all real names of potions with no effect. I'll take one debonair potion, please. There used to be even more, which were obtained by using redstone to revert an extended potion, which for some reason created a separate type of potion with the same effect. Having loads of potions can really clutter up your inventory. You should be able to mix them into one bottle to take up a fraction of the space. Anvils combine enchantments, so cauldrons could combine effects. Mixed potions were suggested, prototyped, and then rejected. Their reason makes a lot of sense. Mixing 2 medicines in real life does not combine their effects. Cauldrons were originally added for brewing potions, which makes a lot more sense than a brewing stand. We all know that brewing stands are for making potions and nothing else. That's wrong in the Education Edition. Mojang actually lets you make medicine in this version, but not in the main game. A poison antidote is made with silver, a weakness curing elixir is made with cobalt, eye drops that cure blindness are made with calcium, and a tonic that cures nausea is made with bismuth. In real life, bismuth subsalicylate is used to treat nausea, but you didn't expect to learn that. A potion concept that won't be added is the Potion of Silence. This would make your footsteps no longer audible, meaning that they don't affect Sculpt sensors and the Warden mob won't be able to hear them. There are also certain potions that you can't craft, like the uncraftable potion for example. Levitation potions don't even exist. Jeb says that this is because every potion must have a tipped arrow version, and that would be pretty nasty. You've seen the secret potions you can't get in Minecraft Java Edition, but there are 9 unique types of potion in Minecraft Dungeons that you probably don't know about. There's the Shadow Brew, giving invisibility and strength. You can get the Sweet Brew, which gives a defense boost and 2 minutes of freezing resistance. And you can even get a Dense Brew for melee resistance. Some of the other potions are like ones from the main game, but with a different bottle design. The new bottle shapes would be great in normal Minecraft, so that you could easily see which potion is which. There are 206 items that aren't obtainable in the main game, but are in Minecraft Dungeons. Some of them can only be carried by hostile mobs, like the Ladle, which is a spoon held by Vindicator chefs. There are 55 unique armor sets, including the unobtainable Curious armor, which was going to have a 5% chance to teleport you when hit. You can get it in the arcade version, where it's called Ender armor. Minecraft has apples, berries, and melons, but another fruit that was going to be added was the banana. However, you couldn't eat them because this was a banana pickaxe. This is not a joke. It was going to be called the Monkey Motivator, and the art director said it looked exactly like a banana on a stick. Mojang really were going to add a banana pickaxe to jungle areas in Minecraft Dungeons. Not sure you're going to be mining many diamonds with that though. This one was removed because Mojang decided it wasn't fun. You were originally going to be able to buy diamond dust in Minecraft Dungeons. This was worth 1,000 emeralds when bought from the Mason, an unused mob. The magic dust would upgrade a weapon's power by 1 level. I think it sounds quite fun, but that price is more steep than this mountain. And with Minecraft 1.18's giant snowy mountains, you might think it would be fun to have some skis. Skis were added to Minecraft back in 2012, but you couldn't actually use them. Dinnerbone added the texture to the game files to distract players from what was really coming in the next update. The skis were eventually removed, and Mojang had successfully tricked us all. Ice and snow can get in the way, especially with 1.17's snowier snow. So when you need to clear some away, the heat block would have been great for warming up the area, if Mojang hadn't removed it, that is. This feature was made exclusive to the Education Edition, but there's an actual reason for it. Like real-life hand warmers, the iron inside oxidizes and releases heat. There's some real-life chemistry in a Minecraft video. You're in a desert mining sand, and then the weather starts to change. You set on fire in the intense heat and need to quickly find water to cool off. Biome-dependent weather effects like that one that damage the player are not coming to Minecraft. A developer said that they don't create things that damage your hard work without making it preventable, which is why they've now added the copper lightning rod, so that lightning doesn't cause this to happen. That was definitely lightning, not me. Speaking of weather, an odd limitation from Minecraft Alpha was winter mode. Before biomes were added, there was a random chance your world would permanently be a winter mode world made of only a snow biome. It was luckily removed a few months later when biomes were added. Another odd limitation is that there's no voice chat built into a game where communication is key. And you're gonna need to keep using Discord because Mojang won't be adding voice chat. Being built into the game, you could have proximity chat or team chats. There are mods, but it would be safer if it were built in. And Mojang love their chat safety. But hey, at least you don't have to put up with that guy.
Hey guys, I got a new mic today.
The chat you used to be able to have in the game was your Twitch chat. Mojang added official Twitch integration into the game that let you live stream directly from Java Edition. But they removed it, probably because it's much easier just to use other software. You were even able to see the chat as if it were Minecraft chat. They could help tell you what things are when you get confused. Like how this spawner right here is actually a chest. When a mob spawner generates in the same block space as a chest, the two combine and look like a pig spawner. It doesn't actually spawn any pigs, and the only way to access the items inside is with a hopper. There was also a version where signs and spawners had the same ID, causing this to happen. Back in in-dev versions, there was a house with chests containing stacks of 100 water and lava blocks. These were dangerously glitchy. Mojang even called the lava ones volcano blocks because of how deadly they were. Place one of these bad boys in your world, and if you can't stop it, say goodbye to your precious Minecraft house. The water blocks would spread even faster, but both types could be soaked up with a bit of sponge. This was around the time when player stats would show up in the inventory. There was attack, defense, and speed. They were removed pretty quickly, and years later the game's creator said he couldn't even remember why he added them. They were just text and didn't actually do anything. What happens when the volcano blocks and water blocks from earlier collide? They make gears. Yeah, gears were in the game before redstone. You could only break them with an explosion, so they were pretty tough to remove. Breaking the block behind it would just make the gear invisible. Eventually, Mojang removed them, and every world with gears suddenly had them replaced with redstone. Redstone doesn't go up walls. I mean, it is redstone dust after all. It's not a wire like we're used to in real life. So it's obvious why Mojang won't be adding the ability for redstone to go up walls. And they won't be adding this type of redstone paste either. Wait, if redstone's a dust, how does this work then? There are quite a few types of villager in Minecraft, but there isn't one that sells redstone components. And guess what? There never will be. This type of villager would be very useful, as you wouldn't have to go mining when you run out of redstone, or have to smelt down a bunch of cobblestone when you need another repeater. Colored lamps were also rejected, but would have looked really quite nice. Does this ever happen to you? You've just finished building a pretty complex redstone system from a tutorial you found online, only to realize after all that hard work, this farm was for the other version of Minecraft. Mojang said they'll never fix this glaring difference because it would break a lot of contraptions people have already built. We've already got the target block for your redstone circuits, but Mojang will never add a timer block to Minecraft. They'll also never add a timer item, command, or even an enchantment that uses a timer. They haven't said why, and they're about to run out of time. Before command blocks were even a thing, teleport blocks were in an official version of the game. These blocks would instantly transport transport you to different ones using a menu. Home blocks would take you to your house, and spawn blocks would let you change the spawn point. Mojang removed these when making the new Education Edition, but they would have made transportation so much quicker. Minecarts with chests are great for storage systems, and TNT minecarts can be pretty fun. There are a few minecart types that were removed, however. Dinnerbone tweeted this screenshot in 2013 showing dispenser minecarts. You can't get those, but you can get spawner minecarts using the /summon command. Redstone minecarts are unique to Minecraft Dungeons, but there are no normal ones. The next mob is another cube-shaped one called the Redstone Cube, which leaves a small trail of redstone dust as it relentlessly chases the player. Unlike most of these mobs, I really wouldn't like them to add this one. This next one is also something that Mojang shouldn't add. The Wraith is a pretty scary ghost skeleton thing that floats around and attacks by placing blue flames around you. Like Endermen, they follow you and can teleport away when they're in danger, making them even more scary. A slightly less scary ghost is this Wisp mob. No, not the YouTuber, this mob. They make noises like ghasts, but there are also baby ghasts in the game that make high-pitched ghast sounds. You can even keep them as a pet to fight with you. Quite cute if you ask me. Ah! Speaking of pets, remember DanTDM's skeleton wolf Grim? Well, Mojang actually turned it into a real thing in Minecraft Earth. You could hear its bones rattling when this undead dog walked around or shook its fur. They may look cute, but you can't tame them, and they'll attack alongside normal skeletons, while howling to give other skeleton mobs a damage boost effect. Is that a skeleton spider? Yeah, that's right. Bone spiders were a thing too, and launched bone shard projectiles at you. They had double the health and could attack normally as well, making them much stronger. Their sounds were horrible compared to normal spiders, so it's no wonder that Mojang didn't want to keep these in the main game. We've got spider jockeys. We've got chicken jockeys. Dolphin jockeys don't sound too far-fetched, but it says in bold right here, no taming and riding dolphins. It's a shame, but it would be unrealistic, because as we all know, baby zombies ride chickens in real life. Speaking of babies, baby dolphins will never be added to Minecraft either. They made a figure of this jockey, but it never ended up actually getting added as something that spawns naturally in any Minecraft game. It's quite a funny looking mob, but it wasn't even added to Minecraft Earth, so only the figure still remains. That's not even the only mob that got this kind of treatment. You couldn't even get this mob in any game, but it had a Lego figure made for it. This is the dyed cat, and its name is Peanut Butter. One of the developers said that it's actually purple goo on the back of that cat, so I guess that makes it peanut butter and jelly. I don't recommend eating it, but you can eat these 8 secret types of chicken from Minecraft Earth. This one's called the Cluck Shroom, and they leave a trail of red mushrooms when they walk in the dark, running around wildly if they're in the daylight. Another interesting one is the Fancy Chicken. This guy struts around with a giant tail feather that it can drop, called the Fancy Feather. Pigs chicken out when they see fancy chickens, which is a bit rude. An April Fool's update had diamond chickens that, instead of making eggs, pooped out diamonds every now and then. This same update had red silverfish called redstone bugs, which spawned around redstone clocks. It was also the first ever version with horses, which looked like this. The funny thing is, that's not even the most cursed thing in this video. 2 April Fool's updates had happy withers. You had to feed them sugar for them to grow more heads. They fired skulls that acted like bone meal on grass. These April Fool's ones were clearly joke mobs, but surprisingly, this next item wasn't. Bone meal can run out quickly when you're using a lot of white dye. Why not make bleach instead? In Minecraft Education Edition, by combining water and sodium hypochlorites, you'll get this, which can be used to instantly turn any wool item white. Only problem is that you can't even spawn it in with commands. Bleach even works for removing patterns from banners instead of having to use a cauldron. You can dye water in a cauldron in Bedrock Edition, but picking that up with a bucket doesn't give you colored liquid. Apparently it's too complicated for Mojang to add to the game. They'd have to code a whole new system for transferring those properties, and it wouldn't be able to show the color in your inventory. There won't be a real reason to drink regular water either, because thirst was discussed and then canned. The update that added the hunger bar is still known as one of Minecraft's most controversial updates ever, so adding another bar to manage would drive more players away. Mojang indicated that they prefer to focus on making hunger better, rather than adding a whole new mechanic to add clutter to Minecraft. A biome that Mojang rejected is the Redwood Forest. Apparently these are too similar to the Mega Taiga biome, so there's no chance of us getting redwood logs or planks. Also, roofed forests could have had tree houses for the unused Illusioner mob, which is coded into the game but never spawns in and doesn't have a spawn egg. The mob might get added, but they don't like the treehouse idea. Adding a chest to witch huts will never happen either, because they're currently fine. Doing this looks pretty cursed, but the portal block used to allow something very similar. These worked just like normal nether portals, but acted like fence posts, allowing for some nice looking designs. When portals were first added, you could place them like a full block too. It's good that Mojang removed them before someone tried to light one of these. When a fan pitched their idea for coloured portals to Jeb, he bluntly explained, "We are are not planning to add that. And then 2 months later, for April Fools, he added funky portals, which let you change the color of the portal to whatever you like, leading you to infinite dimensions. Color-coded portals would be to die for, but they were just an April Fool's prank. And Mojang will never let you make portals with crying obsidian either. Speaking of obsidian, there used to be obsidian walls at spawn. These would mark where the 0 coordinate is on each axis. They were only in the game for a couple of versions and then removed permanently, so they were likely just for testing. Brick pyramids were added around this time too, but they always spawned at the exact same coordinates